Hi, and welcome to the Learning Life Show. My name is Suzan Nishiyama, and I'm the host. My special guest today is Gina Rabbin. Hi.
Suzan, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. And we also, just so you know, in the background, we have our Intuitive Tarot Finding Your Inner Voice book right there that's been kind of moving around, so we'll see what happens as we continue. First of all, how did you get started in all your spiritual quests?
It was totally by accident.
Okay.
I had been in the corporate world for years.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1987, early 1987, I moved up to San Francisco from Southern California.
Okay.
And a friend of mine up there was a channel. And one day she came to me and she said, "Gina, it's time for you to start channeling and getting messages from the other side."
Wow, that's really, that is
from corporate world to
channel? Yeah.
I thought she was crazy.
Kind of, okay.
Yeah, I thought she was crazy, but she sat me down, she told me how to do it, and by the end of the day, we were both channeling different entities. It changed my life.
Wow.
A few months after that, my oldest brother said, "Gina, you need to go get a deck of tarot cards."
Okay.
To this day, neither of us can remember why he said that, what the circumstances were, but being the good sister that I am,
oh, isn't that sweet?
went to the store, got the Morgan Greer deck of tarot cards, and that was it. That changed my life completely.
And
that was,
this is within, it was like you did the channel thing, and within 1 month, your brother mentioned?
it was in February of 1987 we did the channeling, and then I think it was probably April of 1987 I got the tarot cards. My life has not been the same since. Then I started doing focusing in 2000, again, completely by accident. I was taking a manifesting class, and one of the prerequisites to taking the class was to have a session with the teacher. We had a session, and she started talking about focusing, and I signed up for the class right then and there.
Wow.
In 2005, I started my Reiki studies, again, completely by accident, had no idea what Reiki was, but I had friends who said, "Gina, let's go take a Reiki class."
Wow. And Reiki's not, I mean, you know, you're getting attuned, it's healing, it's not really, it is much, I know you're saying class, it is much more than a class, it's being tuned into Reiki 1.
Yes, exactly.
So you did, that's interesting.
Then we did Reiki 2, then we did Reiki 3, and then when I said, "Okay, I'm done," I had students coming to me saying, "Would you please teach Reiki 1? Would you please teach Reiki 1?
Wow.
So I had to call my Reiki master and say, Barbara, quick, teach me how to do a class."
Yeah. Wow.
That was it.
Huh, and that was in 2000, you say?
I started in 2005. I became a Reiki master at the beginning of 2006, April of 2006. Again, spring seems to be the time of year that things shift and change for me. And that's been it. My life from 1987 to now has taken a path that I never could have imagined.
Wow.
Nothing that I went after, nothing that I sought.
Yeah.
It just showed up for me, and I said, okay.
And we're going to talk about this when we get to the second segment, but it is interesting. Gina and I were talking before the show, and she was telling me a little kind of interesting how her relationship is with her guide. So, I mean, we're not doing that yet. We'll get to the next segment, but as you're talking, it's interesting because as you're saying that all these things, and we're kind of wondering, is it synchronicity? Are you the accidental psychic? You know, how it's just listening to your story, I can tell that we're really truly guided.
Absolutely. Call it accidental synchronicity.
Yeah, accidental more in a funny way.
Yeah.
You know, and it was interesting because while we're getting set up, the room's a little warm, the batteries went out and everything. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Gina was saying, you know, "Oh guys, you know, get out of the room," and I'm like, "Well, why?" And she's kind of saying, "Because of the heat." And I'm like, "But Gina," and right before we got started, bam, the book fell over. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, they were telling me, "Don't ban us from the room.
I know.
We're going to wreak havoc."
Yeah.
I love my guides. And I talk to the guides all the time in everything that I do. Whether it's tarot, I talk to the guides and angels and ascended ones that are around my clients. With Reiki, I have a special Reiki guide who I work with. With channeling, I have my own guide that I integrate with, as well as talking to the entities of the people around my clients. So I'm always talking to the guides with every piece of work that
different ones for different things to do. And I have to tell you, being in the field, to start out in channeling, that's that's actually very amazing. So there must have definitely been, you know, a lineage just in your energy, or just you were more than ready, because people usually have to train for years and years in psychic development before they get to channeling.
Yeah.
And to open up, you must have been really ready. So again, in a way, your guides are definitely very powerful, and they're definitely making sure that, you know, you continue on with your path. So you said from 1987 to now, the book we have here, how did you come about with the book, and when, you know, what is your book about?
I teach a series of tarot classes. I've been teaching tarot informally for many years, but in 2003, living up in the Bay Area, I worked with a metaphysical store, and we decided to start teaching classes, and I started teaching a tarot class.
Okay.
I teach a series of 4 classes, and my students would constantly say, Gina, when are you going to write a book? When are you going to write a book? And I kept saying, someday, someday. And I've been hearing that for many years from my guides. Write the book, write the book. Finally, I sat down in the beginning of 2011, and I started writing the book based on the series of classes. It was published in June of 2011. It's a workbook, so it teaches either new readers, people who have just bought a tarot deck and never even opened it, and even experienced readers, how to learn to read the cards intuitively.
Which I totally, and I'm gonna link it from this one to the next one, because I know that's very interesting, because I completely agree with you with that. For more information on the Learning Light, www.learninglight.org. For Gina, www.Gina Rabbin, and that's GinaRabbin.com. And any more information on me is www.kiazi.com. And please stay tuned, because I have to tell you, I looked at the book before we got started, and it looks very interesting inside.